What's up, everyone? We are live again with the Hammer Time podcast. I'm Josh Baker, coming to you live from the HQ over at Hammer Sports Performance, and Bobby Riordan is here to help us out and just catch up. He's always busy with us, but Bobby, thanks for coming out.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Of course. We just trained, so it's better. I think it's we've done this out with Nick, so I was happy to train with you whenever and see. I was like, I always see on the outside of the circle, so I was like, let's see, keep it going. But we have awesome things coming up, right? So this weekend we have HS 30, we have the Amateur Invitational, and the Pro Duels. I think Bobby's a perfect person to bring in because he won the Amateur Invitationals and he was part of our first ever Pro Duels, and in probably one of the more fun environments that you can get yourself into. So let's just go to that. Like, we'll go back to square one, where your HGS debut was in November in 2022 because it was HGS 7. Mm-hmm. And that was a Pro Duel. So it just kind of talks us through how that day went.
That was crazy, yeah. I think I did like an open.
You did the Ironman.
The Ironman, that's what
it's
called.
The first Ironman.
So I did the Ironman, so I was like, okay, love the facility, right? It was in Shrewsbury at the time. And that was cool. I think I took second there. And then I went to the Pro Duels as a spectator with a friend, and I knew some of the teams, but just was like, all right, some local jiu-jitsu, some high-level jiu-jitsu. Let me go pop out and support. And before I knew it, there was a team needing a guy, and I was like, hey, I'm down. I'm in. I mean, I was pretty fresh blue belt at the time, but I was like, on my path of like, I'm going to compete every weekend whenever I can. So I think was it an all-star team?
It was the all-star. There was a mixed match. John Perez. I couldn't even tell you who else. The only time I have to look. But John Perez was the guy.
John. Yeah. He was super nice, and like I was on the team. I did what I could. I got some high-level matches too. We were talking before. I had Cockle, Bobby, and someone else, but I was Elias. Thrown right to the fire, and it was super cool. I mean, the environment alone, we talk about it too, but the Grand Prix is not the Grand Prix, the duels. Such a cool environment. Everyone's cheering, everyone's hyped up, and focused on the submission too. But it was a great pro debut.
I think the missing part here is like, again, came as a spectator. We had to pull out like the last second. Literally, teams were coming in. I was like, I don't know what to do. This is our first time we're doing the Pro Duels, whatever. And then we said, hey, anyone want it? And you're like, hey.
I was like, I got sports.
So I think that's it, especially with the combined. And there was some good matches. But, I mean, you've been busy with us. I mean, the last time I saw you was in June for the Grand Prix. You and Toscano had probably one of the best matches that we've seen inside the Grand Prix. And in that weight, you already said you went against Cockle already once. He won it again. But just talk about, like, you've made that now official jump, right? You won the Amateur Invitational 2 years ago, made the bump up, won the wild card tournament, got yourself into the Grand Prix. So now you've literally almost hit you've hit everything we've offered. Now you're going to come back, try to win some other titles and stuff as we keep on going. Yeah. But just talk about, I guess, the level of progression of the different styles inside the circle, where you went from Ironman, Pro Duel, Amateur Invitational, going back and forth, and now sitting with only one loss as a pro. No,
Darren
and Nick.
So
two. Yeah,
I think only two right now. But yeah, it's been so cool. I mean, since the beginning, just learning like the specific particular rule set that you brought to the scene really is that with the overtime and everything was really cool. And now I feel like I have it down pat. I know the first round overtime, second, third, and it's like even just little stuff, right? Going out of the circle with submission. That's how I won, I think, my last match against the Sheesh. We were kind of trading, and then we were going outside. Before you know it, I'm like, okay, I kind of know. Start EBI, and then all the particulars of the rule set was I've been learning. I guess staying active the past couple of years, but it's been cool. Like I said, I think on the wild card, like it's important to me to, I guess, earn it or punch my ticket however I can to get these opportunities against these really high level competitors, like in the Grand Prix and Pro Duels, and it's such a great opportunity locally for you to like run this promotion, and it's growing so much, like we were talking about. So it's been really fun. I try to learn something every time I get in the circle.
And we see it. I mean, again, I kind of completely forgot you were with us in September too. When last time we crowned another Grand Prix. It sneaks up on us again. HS 30 coming this weekend. So again, I kind of just we're just going to kind of break down what's going to offer on Sunday. You know a lot of the guys that are competing. You have some of your teammates that are competing.
Yeah.
Some of your former foes are competing, and we just go look at it. So again, I guess maybe we could talk about first. We'll talk about the amateur invitational. We got 7 brackets going on, 8-man brackets. Some are full, some are still adding guys, but we're going to 2 dual screen, 2 mats going at the same time. We're at 80 matches for the entire day, opening around the quarterfinals. Now, being someone that competes regularly and competing in our rule set and multiple times in a day, right? You've always had to face like the wild card tournament and the amateur invitational. And I guess the biggest thing is like if you go to a local tournament, you really don't know how the pace is going to go. You know, with us, we're going to go quick. And the fact that we're doing 2 mats, pretty much the first 2 sessions are going to be nonstop. So like just because you have like 8 matches before you go up, it can happen quick. So any advice going into these guys looking into punch their spot, as only a few champs have been crowned so far?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I think, like you said, it's important to have a schedule that runs fast, and you guys normally do. So be ready, get there when you can. Make sure you got time for a good warm-up, and just stay aware. Be aware of, where you're at on the mat during your match. Be aware of the rule set. Be aware of, the timing and stuff, and, go out there and hunt for the sub, right? Like it's a submission only regulation. So go out there and get it done. A lot of times overtime can offer different predicaments, right? So like we were talking about before, if you have the opportunity to end it, like it's sub only. Stay diligent too. Like one of the things that I've learned from competing so long is that you're always in it, even if you're getting, your ass kicked for the first 5 minutes of the match, you can you can really get out, score your sub, or at least make it to overtime and stay in it the whole time, and then you're going to be exhausted probably from the adrenaline dump after the first match, but you might have 2 more, you might have 3 more. So like take a deep breath, make sure you're breathing, hydrating, and, go do what you do in the training room.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely, and let me put this out. If you're competing for us this weekend, we're doing full losers bracket. So if you lose, you can make your way all the way back to 3rd. Again, that's the benefit of doing the 2 mats. So you're going to get a ton of matches. Staying ready, and that's when sometimes you don't even know when the excitement's going to happen, because when the people on the backside meet up and go. But with the overtime and you're getting dominated, especially in our rule set, we've seen it where people just get mollywopped for the regulation, and they knew they just had to survive, and they go. And I hear the pros and the cons, and us as refs, we try to do our best job of hitting stalling when we see it, but a lot of times that's not it. But if you have issues with the rule set, find the sub. In the amateurs, you got 4 minutes to go. It's a short period. You got to go. But I kind of let everything kind of go. We're giving you a full mat space. You have a full wrestling circle to go. Freedom to go. No twisting leg locks. That's pretty much it for the amateurs. Right. And don't be diving across. There'll be no wall. But it's exciting. Is there a big difference in a field? I mean, your amateur title was 2 years ago. So it was, I feel like last year's was a little bigger because last year's was at HS 20. So they had the Grand Prix on the same day, and it was a bigger event. I did the 20, now we're on 30 again. Yeah. But besides that, obviously the skill goes up a little bit. Is there a little difference of feeling of that championship round, we'll say, in the wild card and the amateur invitational?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think both were great, to wild card, punching my ticket, knowing like, okay, I'm certainly going to get that opportunity at the Grand Prix. That was really great. Both events I was against like some good competition too. So like you're going in the amateur invitational too is like, all right, you're looking at the names. Like there's a lot of people. In order to win, I gotta, get through all 3 rounds, all 4 rounds. But it was a really cool feeling 2 years ago at the amateur invitational. That was like, I think the first tournament I won. Like I'd won super fights. I'd taken silver at Grappling Industries, whatever, but that was like the first tournament of like a bracket of people that actually won, and that was a super cool feeling.
Yeah, and that was, I was saying, that was when you did it, we had to do combined weights. So it was like 165 and 75 or 55 and 65. Because it was like 35, 45.
Okay.
And we did the 2 weights. This year we were able to do 7. We try to get every weight, but for whatever reason, 65 didn't get filled.
Really?
So we go from 55 to 75, 85.
Surprises me. I feel like I guess it's kind of in the middle. People
it's in the middle.
170 or 155.
Yeah, people just don't want to cut weight and whatever. But I get it. All right, so that's the amateur invitational. Again, action's going to be starting at first match is at 10:30 at Broadway Rec. Come out, ton of matches going on. Like I said, we have 80 matches, but in the middle of that is the pro duels. And I stand by it. If you just saw our event 2 weeks ago for the female only duels, we had some of the best matches. Nicole Matthews and Krista Briggs really stole the show with the match. You didn't know that was going to happen at the beginning of the day. And I think that's the most exciting part about the pro duels. We got 4 teams going. We have reigning champs in the team duels. They're kind of split off with different teams and everything like that. And for the first time ever, we have 2 Grand Prix champions on separate teams that could meet. Andrew Cockle, 3-weight champ, never won a pro duel. It's a fun little thing.
He's won everything else, though.
Everything else. Undefeated inside the circle. And Connor Dixon, who just won the 205, is teaming up with Kyle Myers, who he beat in the semis and in the heel hook team. So I think it's like if going in, obviously it's a little different because of your scenario going into the pro duel. But since you got thrown into there as with your team, like, do you guys have a game plan of trying to make up matchups going into it? Excited about others. Again, you had a little weirder path because you didn't have it. I know these guys are already planning their show. Like, these are their options. They have a game plan. You can take it very serious, and the pro duels are just exciting the whole time. But was that thinking? You probably were just doing as you were told, getting on that team?
Totally. I definitely was. I was like, yo, just tell me where you want me to go. Like, tell me when to go out there and fight, and I'll do that. But now, like, seeing it, see you guys do the Grand Prix or
the duels. They're just as
now that I see you guys doing the duels, I understand like the strategy piece of it, and like, you know, you want your heavy hitters or your like sub hunters to go against certain guys, and it's alternating, right? Like one team can put
so the coin toss happens in the beginning. Winning team gets to choose if they want to send out first or second. Then after that, they'll alternate who sends out first. Just a wrestling duel.
And it gives it an extra like strategy piece to it, to where the whole team's getting together and you're thinking like, you know, all right, you look at your guy, like, you see him, go get him.
Yeah. And I think when we used to have it where, at least for the amateurs, where you had to compete within a 30 or 40 pound weight difference. Now we just treated absolute. So now it's a team total like weight, 950. Doesn't matter. We've seen the big guys against the little guys, and it goes. And then
in that sense, you know, a little guy going against a big guy, it's like, oh, damn. But you get a stall out. That's a pretty
you don't give up a sub in the regulation. It changes the game, right?
Yeah.
Sub in regulation is 3 points. Sub in overtime is 2. Any other way of winning is 1. And it just changes. So the strategic is like, for me as a promoter, and I think everyone wants to see champ versus champ, but
that would be cool.
If the banner's on the line and everything, it's like, that might not be the move. Dixon is bigger than Cockle. Cockle was seconds away of hopping in the 205 Grand Prix, but his new congrats to the champ, just got married. Have a kid on the way. She said we're going on vacation. So they went on vacation. And it's fair. He already has 3 of my titles. I didn't think that he had to compete for a 4th yet. So those are exciting. And then even just the jiu-jitsu community is so small, right? Yeah. Besides, I'd say the team that has come every year and has more or less been the same, the Purple Cobras, right? The Tap House, Robbie Bloom, another one of your former
even
foes.
All those guys too, like the Logi guys, like I love them. I started training at Logi Gym when I first started.
Okay, yeah, they're both on there.
Yeah, so they're all killers and good dudes.
Yeah, Dietrich on it, and then
he's a beast.
Sorry, I got in the 5th. We got to make it a debut for the 5th. The name will come up to me later, but that's right. You'll always have the different mindsets, and I think with them, seeing how tight-knit and they've always been they go. But then you could see in the comments when we named that Steve was hopping on Cockle's team, and Zach Shimos was the captain of that team. Cobra did a really good job.
Steve's a problem.
Steve's a problem. Steve, honestly, at age 28, I offered him a spot in the Grand Prix, and he said, I'd rather go against Outlaw in a super fight. He's like, I want the toughest guy out there or whatever. Yeah. So Ezra's also is on another team as well. It's called Crutches. Okay. Cool. So that's Cade Sakalis is on that. Nick Grasso.
Nice. So Steve has an opportunity to run it back with him
if they make it in the final.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Outlaw, we can get the rematch if he wants it. But again, you always just play the different options, and I think again, I stand by it. The team duel is the most exciting thing we do. On that note, your school, Ocean County BJJ, has made the playoff. That will be back in December. Yeah. Phil will be competing this weekend, and he's kind of, I guess, he's my leader he's my connect. He's
he's doing good. He's staying really active.
He's won the Ironman for us this year.
Yeah.
He comes out to every event. I'll tell you that much. We're in Jersey City. I look over and there he is. Not one Ocean County guy was on that card, but Phil was there. That's good. He's in the 85 bracket this weekend. He's a good spot. So I guess again, you came up through that ranks, right? And now you're still over at Tom in Ocean County, and you could see the turnover, all these new guys and all that. And every year I always get at least 1 or 2 guys making the debut. Can you talk about how you see them training in the room? Are they getting better? How they're feeling? Like after the experience when they came back with it, they had a really tight duel back at HGS 27 in the qualifier.
I watched some of the matches too. Like, all those guys. Like, we got a bunch of hungry blue belts that have been working really hard and getting very dangerous. So, like, I mean, every day in the room, they're giving me problems. They're putting it on me, and they're just like, they're wanting to compete. They're wanting to get better. They're young, and the whole environment at Ocean County has like really been great recently. We're all trying to like push each other, strategize for upcoming events. We had a team duel for like a blue purple at LIJJN recently. It didn't go our way, but we had a really good showing, especially from like the blue belts that are a little more fresh and young and getting out there trying to give it their all. But the room's been great. We have our coach Tom the Blast, who's really
he's all right.
He's all right. I think he's won some things, but no, he's kind of given us. He's done every rule set too. Like he's got the 80cc experience and everything, and his coaching's the best. And the room's been on fire recently.
Yeah, I mean, there's always someone, and especially in this time of year when we look at the amateur invitational, like, all right, how many qualifiers we got, and which I think only got 4 though. I think everyone else turned it down. I think everyone else is kind of waiting until the team duel, which is only a couple weeks away as well, because the party doesn't stop. But again, all the action's happening this Sunday, right? It's a Sunday event starting. Doors open at 10. First match at 10:30. I'm just going to keep on. Hopefully, we're going to have the finals around 2-3 o'clock for the pro duels and the amateur invitational. Get tickets out in the stream. But again, thanks for coming in. Thanks for training. Right?
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I try to stay as busy as I can on my own and get the train. Again, now I'm at the point where I've seen so many good guys. I want to bring them in and get what we can. What do you have coming up?
Personally, I have I'm doing the Path Super Fight November 21st.
Check out the fight for tomorrow.
I think,
They'll be in the building a lot on Sunday. Ton of guys.
Oh, great. Yeah, so I'm doing that. I think next Friday, and then IBJJF Open New Jersey that weekend, and then finish out the year with Nogi Worlds. I'm going to do again in Vegas for IBJJF, and just trying to stay active and go into the new year. Got a couple events in January. I have a friend, Max Greenberg, that's running a super fight card out of his gym in Montgomery called Voyager Invitational. So shout out to them, and they're going to do something in January, and another great addition to the local scene, and hopefully, just trying to stay active as always, man.
It's crazy that we're already talking about 26.
I know, right?
It's like I'm like literally sitting like looking at the numbers and like, oh, we're at HGS 30. Okay, the year's up. Then we go. We have some exciting things coming up for 26. So I'll make sure I'll keep you in the loop and make sure we keep you as active as we can. I will promise this in 2026 will probably be the most active year we have ever done. And that's probably saying a lot. Again, we are going on our 30th number event this weekend. Not our 30th overall event, but our 30th number. We have done the count. We are at 890 individual matches inside the circle. So we'll be hitting 1,000 by the end of the team duel playoff in December. So we're excited for that. And it's crazy to think, but it's happened quick. Again, thank you for all always tuning in. Thanks to everyone that has joined us throughout the years, and hoping that we'll see you this Sunday. Again, action starts at 10:30. Doors open at 10. The stream is available on hsgrappling.com and AVP. If you can't catch the live stream, come out in person. If you can't do that, as long as you're a YouTube Premium member, the replay will be available within a couple days of the show. So again, I'm Josh Baker, owner and promoter of HS Grappling. This is Bobby. Thanks for coming out. We'll see you soon, and we'll see everybody on Sunday. See you.